think what made us want to buy instead of rent was the extortionate cost of renting.
Yeah, definitely. Especially we were renting in London as well for 4 years together. So we wanted to move out of London to Essex, get on the property ladder and save a bit of money as well.
And just feel like we were putting money back into our own pockets rather than into a landlord's pocket.
Well, I think we've always worked really hard, especially through our studies, and we've continued that as much as possible, really.
Yeah, and we also both set up Help to Buy ISAs, which, although our property wasn't actually eligible for the government bonus, it meant that we were putting £200 a month each into this pot, which we just didn't touch for a couple of years. And we've just always been quite good with money. I know that's a stupid way of saying it, but we just try and be quite sensible in terms of holidays and eating out and just doing, still enjoying our lives, but not overspending.
Yes, we actually used the government Help to Buy scheme, which has been absolutely fantastic. And it's basically the only reason why we got onto the property ladder. It really gave us a helping hand and just meant we can afford somewhere that we really like in an area that we like.
So we have bought a 4-bedroom semi-detached house. And do you want to share how much we paid for it?
Well, it's in between 300 and 500,000.
No, come on, okay, it was between 400 and 450,000.
Well, it's a semi-detached townhouse, so it's 3 floors with a garage on the bottom and 4 bedrooms. So it's really spacious. There's a lot of space compared to some of the other properties at that value that we were looking at.
So we've got 4 bedrooms, a downstairs toilet, 2 en-suites and a family bathroom.
Yes, we also have space for 2 parking spaces, and also if we wanted we could get another car in the garage.
Yeah, we do have a garden. It's quite sort of long and thin. It's about the width of the house.
I think it's having to think about all the extra things that you don't think about when you're renting. So building insurance, contents insurance, and I think not being able to pick up the phone to your landlord and say, hey, our dishwasher's broken, can you help us sort it out?
Yeah,
it's your problem.
We'll have to pay for all of that.
Yeah.
And also just all the expenses that come at the start. Like, we've been very lucky to be included in the stamp duty holiday. So we've saved several £1,000s there, but paying for everything, like all the furniture that we need, because we've come from a 1-bed flat and this is a 4-bedroom house. We need a lot more furniture, washing machine, tumble and dryer, like all of those extra things that you don't pay for when you're renting. I'd say the best thing about owning a home is being able to put your own stamp on it. That was one thing I really struggled with in our rented flat, was that I couldn't paint the walls, I couldn't change the flooring, I couldn't change the kitchen. And that's another thing that really appealed to us about a new build, was being able to select the kitchen and the bathroom and the tiles and the carpets ourselves.
And I think also each month, knowing that your payment that you're paying each month back on your mortgage is going back in your own pocket eventually, which is the best thing, I think. I would personally recommend shopping around, taking your time to look around, because you can make snap decisions. I think we looked at quite a few places before we decided on what we wanted, and I think we've got the best value now for what the price we were looking at. And
also just make sure that you're definitely in a comfortable financial position to do so, because people always think it's about saving up your deposit, but then you've got solicitors' fees. We had to budget over £1,000 for those. If you buy after March next year, you've got to consider your stamp duty contribution. For us, that would have been another £7,000. So it's amazing we've managed to save that this time around. But and then obviously all the other things. One big expense that we hadn't realised was that our council tax is going to be, I think, triple what it was in London, which is one of the few things that was more expensive.
So I think we're looking at 5 years to begin with.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah, because we want to hopefully start family in the near future, and this place is perfect for that.
The future property, like this is a great house for us right now where we are in our lives. We actually just got married 6 days ago. So we're newlyweds and, like Harry said, hoping to start a family, and it'll be perfect in terms of the house itself is perfect for a family. We're near good schools and so on, but I think in the future, I personally would prefer to have a slightly older property.
And also, one of the downsides with having a new build is you don't have any DIY to do, or you can increase the value, but not as much as an older property. So eventually, that's what I kind of am looking for, because I love doing that kind of stuff.